Okay, I think we're on. The lights flashing. I can never tell if my camera is on or if it's on pause. I think it's on. Okay, let's start this over. I'm lost for words. Hi, everybody. Um, okay, I'm Mrs. Homemaker, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, uh, I call myself Mrs. Homemaker, but by no means is this channel all about keeping your house spick and span or being perfect. In fact, on the contrary, it's just all about me trying to make a home for my kitty cats. I have several kitty cats. And those of you who've been following me are well in tune with all those cats that I have. And you see cats running around. So just a little warning. If you see a lot of cats, they're all ours. They're spoiled, so you will see them going up and down. Um, Summer has finally arrived, and I did promise you an update on some of the plants. Remember, uh, I think my last garden was a mini greenhouse tour, and some of these plants did not look so nice. In fact, some of them were dead or looked like they were going to die. So I wanted to update you to let you know that the ones that did survive are doing just fine. Like I said, somehow, especially the geraniums, they look terrible in the wintertime, but they do come back to life. So I may not have a green thumb, but just follow my advice and you will be able to grow geraniums. I say geraniums because that's the only flower that I seem to do well. The rest of the plants, not so well. But like I said, my main problem is watering, and I'm hoping to keep it watered. So far, so good. Although some of my tomato plants are not so good. Um, but let's get started, and I will show you. Um, if you saw, let's start with this big one. If you saw not my basement greenhouse, I did show you my aloe vera plants. And remember, I said I made a lot of cuttings already and gave it away. It's so big. Well, I put it outside because these are uh, I think they're tropical plants, so they do well with a little bit of sunshine instead of the basement lights. I'm looking down because I just fed my cats and most of them went upstairs to take a nap, but there's a lot of them on the floor and the bunny's still hanging around. So I have to watch. And for those newcomers, you will see that my head is always turning around, my eyes are all over the place, and that's what I am doing, looking for cats to making sure they behave and that I'm not stepping on any of the cats or the bunny because they don't move so quick. But anyhow, this it doesn't look so good, but I'm hoping to nurse it back to health. They're not dead. They just get so dark. See, it should be all green, light green like this. I don't know why they're dark. Maybe they didn't have enough light in the basement. But oh, by the way, this is aloe vera. I had it for a long time. This is the mother plant. From this, I had said it before, from this, I get some call it pups, puppy pups, or I call it baby. And this is one of the offspring from this plant here. And it would have done better had I transplanted like I said I was going to. I'm still going to. In fact, I will do that right now. I had to bring it in the kitchen because my patio, my sergeant is working on the patio right now, so it's under construction. Maintenance work really. But in the meantime, I'll just keep doing it in the kitchen. I can't bring you my tomato plants update. I wanted to give you an update, but they are so huge. I planted them in a big bucket. This year, I'm not having a traditional garden on the ground. I'm just going to plant all of them in a pot. My new experiment. I did it once and they did grow. So, and I don't really can or do any of those things that much. If I do, it's on a small scale basis. So I think growing in the pots is just fine. And if I can keep it going in the winter time, I can have fresh garden salad right in my basement. That's my plan, my goal. Let's see if I can accomplish that. So, yes, let me just put this in that way. I get to show one thing if I don't get to do the rest. And it won't be a waste of my day, too. I will have one thing planted. See, it needed it. The roots are all. Normally, if I would do this outside, then I would break this up more. You should always, even when you buy plants from the store, a lot of times those store plants have roots all around it. Uh, root ball, you know, really tight. You should always break them up. Otherwise, they'll just, even if you plant it in, they'll just sort of like smother itself, choke itself. I guess that's how you describe it. So yeah, you just break it in. Even if you have to cut some of the roots off, don't worry. There's that many, they'll survive. Okay, now let's try and see if I can do this without making too much of a mess here. Not that it matters, but like I said, normally you would do this outside, of course. I don't need to tell you that. And of course, you will water this. Now, for some reason, I haven't been feeding them as often, not like the flowers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they don't need as, they're not a heavy feeder. Oh, I had this outside. Hold on. I, I had this outside in my patio, and there was a bug. I don't like bugs. I know. I love gardening. I love to get my hands right in the dirt, but I hate bugs. So, yes, I would water this. Once the soil is wet, it'll hold better. Right now, I might even trim this. It seems to be so heavy. So, that's that. Remember the white pot. I'll give you an update on this. especially when this starts giving little babies. So you can just keep going on, and you have an endless supply of aloe vera to give to your friends or anybody. Why not even have a yard sale, plant yard sale, especially when you can get free plants like aloe vera or geraniums. Talking about pups, I had I had harvested a lot of baby ones from this, and it's still giving babies. I didn't know how long it would just keep giving babies, but unlike humans, we have an age limit. Apparently, plant doesn't. There's another one coming up. I want to move this. I'm trying to show you that. Can right here? Can you see this? Right here? That's a baby one coming out of the ground. And there's another, which way? This one. There's another one right here. And there's an, if you can't see it, but I can see another one, just a tip coming out here. So there's 3 of them that I can see. So I will be sharing them with my friends should they need some. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Yes, there's 3 of them. And I do harvest that aloe whenever I get burns and stuff. They do seem to soothe the burn. So when it's soothing, it's not so hot and painful. In fact, I just had a right here. Can you see it? It's a little dark. There was another one right here going all the way down, but this is the recent burn. I know I'm a klutz. But yeah, I just went out to the patio and just snipped a little bit and peeled the top layer off. Then it's jelly. So yeah. What else did I want to show? Oh, I remember trimming the geraniums. Here is. Would you believe I brought this big pot indoors? I wanted to bring this pot because remember this orange pot? That's the one that I did on my first video. Hi. It's so big. Um, I think it was called Let's Get Rid of Cabin Fever. That was one of my first gardening video. And I had, it looks straggly, overgrown and straggly and dying. So if you remember, I wanted to get nice and bushy. So, and they were like all over uneven. I say straggly, uneven, and just one was hanging down. So if you go back and see it, you'll see that you can compare it. So yeah, please do go back and check and see the geraniums in the orange pot. You can see how nice it looks now. Since I cut it off, I want to keep it bushy. When you top it off, the energy goes towards the side, all the shoots will develop and it gets nice and bushy. Otherwise, they will bloom. They will bloom flowers and stuff, but it's just straggly and not very pretty looking. I think it's much better. Now, what I didn't do was I should have just centered this here. If you remember, I also said there's another. I showed you how to I just take the cutting and stick it in the ground, and it'll root. And I did say there's another geranium that I planted. I showed you, not the ones I had cut that day. I put that in another pot. But it turned out that I had look how pretty it is. It's a different color. I apparently had cut some from another pot and just since this had a space, I just stuck it in here. And this is the flower. So I will have red one and it's like a salmon color. So yeah. Let me see if you can see this better. It's a little lopsided. I should have put the red one in the center. And maybe the salmon one on the edges. I might still do that. I play with my plants. See? Okay. I'll bring another plant in. I have to go out in my patio. I had to go out in my patio because this is hanging. You know that salmon one? I stuck it in there. This is the mother plant from that. Actually, this came from one of Sarge's customer. He fixes computer, and one of his customer had brought a flower for me. She says they always throw it out at the end of the season, and she knows that I keep mine, so she thought, well, before it goes bad, she'll give it to me. That was very nice of her. So that was a while back, but still, thank you. I'm keeping it in. It's in good hands, good home. So there you go, homemaker for the plants too, making homes for the plant. I rescue plants and animals. So yes, isn't this nice? I told you it blooms. They all look a little needy and desperate in the winter time, but see how nice it gets. I told you geraniums are the ones to plant if you don't have a green thumb like myself, and if you don't like to water. They seem to take neglect a little bit better. They're hardier than other plants. I don't do so well with petunias. I don't know why, but I have to try. I never had too much luck with them. So, yes, isn't this beautiful? I think it's beautiful. And they were all small and straggly like you saw in my other videos. In fact, you probably saw this because it has the black pot. Just look for the black pot in my basement mini tour. And that's how this looked. Look for the black pot and it's a hanging with the hook. It was hanging on the greenhouse shelf. So this is how it turned out. I told you it would work out well. And there was another one that kind of looked all brown. This is another black pot one that was hanging. See? I just wanted to show you some of the things that you might have seen in the greenhouse that did not look so well, and so that you can compare and see that it doesn't really take that much effort or work to grow geraniums. Like I said, if I can grow them, so can you. Oops. I almost stepped on somebody's tail. Uh, so going back to that orange pot that I showed you, the big one. Remember, I was taking cuttings out, cutting the tops off and sticking in the pot, and said that I would transplant it to another pot. This is one of them. You might have seen this in the greenhouse. It has made new growth, new leaf, and it has rooted. You can even see the roots coming out. I don't think you can. I can. Just take my word for it. There's roots, and yeah. Once it's established, and like now with a good set of roots, you will see this taking off. So by the end of this growing season, you'll see a much bigger, bushier plants. And by next summer, they will look just like that. Isn't that wonderful? And the thing is, you got it for free. That's the best part of it. It is free. Well, I guess it's free. You only buy it once and that's it. I don't know why people don't share more transplanting tips. Of course, the greenhouse or the retailers don't want you to know this. They want you to buy this, but hey, we still buy. Yeah, I still buy. Now, what I would like to do is start buying different varieties of geraniums and different colors. There's so many varieties. Geranium, that's another reason I like geraniums. There's so many varieties, so many different colors. I don't have white. I had white, but yes, I killed it. I left it out in the sun and forgot about it, and it didn't get watered. So I'm going to try one more time to get white geraniums and try to succeed at making cuttings and multiply my supply. I only need one part of one color or one variety. That way I can make cuttings and share. I love to share with plants. In fact, my neighbor is wonderful at sharing. We both have different plants and we switch. She started her herbs earlier than me, so she gave me some of her herbs. I did plant some more, but hers is bigger, so I will harvest hers first. But yes, what else do I have to show? Oh, this you probably saw this as you walk into the greenhouse on the right hand side of the shelf in the corner. You probably saw this vine. I got geranium petals all over. But see this? I'm not sure what it is. I forget the name. I think I was told, if my memory is good, I think it was labeled sweet potato plant. I don't think it's the kind of sweet potato you eat. Sweet potato vine plant. This looks a little droopy. But yeah, it didn't look very good in the greenhouse at all. There was a little, I knew it wasn't dead because there was a little bit of color. But yeah, even this doesn't look so good yet. It looks kind of, but it's surviving. And from here, it took in all the food and energy that it's making you grow. So it's doing, I call it a success. It's surviving, it's thriving. And hopefully I will keep it watered. And I'm going to have to look up what kind of plant this is. Or maybe somebody out there have this and know what it is. Please let me know. It looks like it's a trailing plant, and it's very pretty. It has like fuchsia mixed in with dark moss green color. It's exactly how it looks on the camera. It's that purplish pink. And it trails. When I bought this. When I first bought it, it was really nice. And that summer, I put it in a window box, and it really draped down beautifully. So I brought it in, and it got neglected, but it's doing fine now. So I guess I'm back as far as having a green thumb. I'm getting better. I told you sometimes I go into this. I call it depression. I get kind of down, and I tend to ignore everything. But I'm doing pretty good for those who asked. Yes, I'm doing good. So there's something growing here. Sometimes I stick seeds just randomly, and I don't know. I don't mark it, and I don't know what it is. So this will be a surprise. I don't think it's weed, just the way it looks. And it's only a single plant, so I'm gonna let that grow and see what happens. So I think that's about all I have to show. And it's 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 almost middle of July right now, but I'm gonna keep planting because I love to plant. And and since I do have a greenhouse in the basement, if they don't make it, I can always, they have a good head start in the summer, and I can always bring it indoors. But I'm gonna plant some nasturtium. I'm not sure if it's considered herbs or flower, but they're very pretty, and they're edible. That's what I like about that. It dresses up your salad. It has a little like a little peppery taste, and it grows. It blooms 6 to 8 weeks from germination. So this will make it. And it would also add color to my greenhouse in the middle of winter. And I know peppers take a long time to harvest, but this one says 75 to 80 days. So I'm not sure if this is good. I'm eating my hair. I'm not sure if this is going to make it, but if I can, I don't have chili. I didn't plant chili pepper. And like I said, I like a lot of heat these days in my dishes. So I thought I could plant it and get it started and bring it indoors and harvest it. I'll keep you up to date and see how that works out because it's 75 to 80 days. It's already July, probably end of July, August, September, somewhere around October. This one, this is arugula. I'm gonna plant arugula. It's sort of like a I never know how you describe. I had it before. I thought it tasted a little like peppery. Has a pungent taste. It's a member of mustard family. Oh, this will make it. It days to harvest. 40 days. That's not bad. So no matter where you live, you can harvest this. Yeah, you can even put this outside in the garden and still have time to harvest it. Great for salads. It adds a little extra punch, extra flavor. Just a regular lettuce salad is kind of boring. So I like to mix things like arugula, spinach, and herbs. I mix a lot of herbs in my salad, especially when I have my fresh herbs. And chives. Chives you can always dig up. They do well in the indoors, even in kitchen. I think it's all the flowers. I feel like a sneeze coming on. I just made a funny face. But yeah, you can just dig up the clumps and keep growing these. I love chives. You can also eat, not just for the leaves, but you can also put the flowers in the salad. They make pretty salads. Add a little color. And beets. Beets only has 55 to 60 days. That's only 2 months. So still time to plant beets and garden beans. On the packet it says you can keep what does it say? It doesn't say. It did say somewhere that you can just keep putting beans every few weeks. Anyway, I thought I read it somewhere. Yeah, it says sow every 2 to 3 weeks through midsummer to extend the harvest. So there you go. Still time to plant green beans, but you better get it in right now, or it might be a little late if you have early frost in your area. But for now, it's still time, so get it in your garden. And I'm gonna plant early peppers, 70 to 75 days. This, I'm gonna bring it indoors. Believe it or not, peppers, my peppers, I have from last year. And I have one peppers on them. So I guess they continue growing. I didn't know that. It was an experiment I did, and they're growing. So if you're fortunate enough to have space to put a greenhouse in the basement or wherever, you know, it's a good thing. I love my greenhouse. So if you uh, have the budget for it and can do all that stuff, everything's flashing in the bottom. I think I'm gonna just wrap it up and see you guys later. So, yep, I beat you peace, and God bless, and happy planting. Till next time, bye bye.